Chad Johnson, quote unquote. After conversing with Jimmy Butler, we are making a huge splash trade, but I'm sworn to secrecy. But I'm excited for my Heat this upcoming season. Who could it be, guys?
Let's be completely honest here. I mean, like Chad Johnson's entertaining, and same thing with Rick Ross. And yes, Rick Ross did call the Tua pick, but I don't know if I trust this, to be completely honest. I'm gonna foreshadow what I'm saying with this. I don't know if I trust this because if they're going to make a big splash, they're going to have to give up a player that Jimmy Butler would like, whether it be Goran Dragic leaving free agency, whether it be Duncan Robinson or Tyler Hero. They're going to have to give up a big asset, and I don't know if Jimmy Butler would probably be happy while doing that. And I think that's your main. That's like him and Bam are 1A. Their needs need to be met, and if they don't want them to leave, then they're not going to leave.
Mm-hmm.
However, saying that, there are talks, and it seems like Miami are still interested in Drew Holiday and Bradley Beal. Now, I don't know about the significance of. I don't know how much the significance of the Drew Holiday contract will have in talks with Miami because we all know they're eyeing Giannis for 2021. But it still is. There still is a conversation out there for Miami.
Yeah, I mean, the conversation is not only for Drew Holiday and Bradley Beal, and there's other names out there too, like Victor Oladipo swirling around, James Harden, Russell Westbrook. I mean, big names. Sam, who do you think this trade could potentially be for?
And with the Miami Heat, it's hard to tell because it seems like every name, every disgruntled star, even stars that like where they are always mentioned in Heat trade rumors. We've heard things as wild as Donovan Mitchell practicing in Miami, and like Devin Booker, but those guys likely are not going to the Miami Heat. It's just delusional Heat fans that talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a few names that are more closely linked to Miami where they are possible. Bradley Beal has been linked to Miami for a long time now. Drew Holiday, like you guys said, but an interesting one that I want to look at is one of the two Rocket star players, either Russell Westbrook or James Harden. Now, Westbrook was linked to the Miami Heat in the last offseason.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Jimmy Butler was talking about, we're going to get a third star. And Russell Westbrook, James Harden really wants out of Houston. He's not getting along with the ownership there. He's not being given as much priority as he thinks he should. And he named 3 teams that are his go-to if he were to be traded. And that was Miami, Philadelphia, and Brooklyn. So if you guys haven't seen, we predicted Philadelphia a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's on our YouTube, so go check it out. So if that does happen, then we called it before I think anyone else did.
October 1st, yeah, a month before the news really broke out.
Yeah, but there are 2 other teams on that list, and one of those teams is the Miami Heat. So there's a chance that happens, and that would be absolutely ridiculous. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, you get a player like Russell Westbrook or James Harden, whoever it may be from Houston, your team's gonna take an incredible boost going into next season. And Miami Heat, we all know. I mean, as 3 Heat fans, they went to the finals. How much better can you get? Well, you can win the finals. One of these 2 players can help the Miami Heat over the hump and contest with the top Western Conference team, whether it be LA, whichever team from LA, whether it be the Warriors. And the Rockets aren't going to be in that conversation next year. What are your thoughts, Ben?
I think it's going to be interesting to see what the offer is going to be on the table. Because, look, it's a saying around here, when Riley sees it, he's going to go whale hunting. But at the end of the day, is he willing to – that's one of the main things. Is he willing to give up someone like a Tyler Hero? Because he knows that everyone and everything besides Bam and Jimmy are up for sale. But is he willing to go, okay, we're going to blow up a roster for the potential of getting a guy like a Russell Westbrook who may or may not fit with this team, or a James Harden who we're going to have to give like all of our good assets to get. And that's going to take us out of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at the end of the day, that's the main problem with everything that's happening. The same thing with the Bradley Beal thing. Everything that's kind of saying, okay, how much is Miami willing to give up now that they see the potential that Tyler Hero could have, the use,
Yeah.
the versatility of someone like a Duncan Robinson, especially with his off the ball play. There's a lot of different what ifs with these trades.
The thing is, Miami has always been a win now team. They're never settling for playing really for the future. They play this season, we're going to give it our all, and we're going to try and assemble a roster that is best fit to win the championship this season. So, I mean, this seems like a Miami move. If you have the opportunity to get a player like Russell Westbrook or James Harden, and you could potentially get Giannis, it's not guaranteed, but it's guaranteed that you'll get a superstar if you trade for one of these guys. I mean, I don't think there's any choice but to go for one of those trades. If they don't land it, then on the other hand, you have the 2021 free agency and you can potentially land a big name then. But right now, they're trying to win this season because they just went to the finals and they think they have a roster that can win right now. So Miami's going to go out there. Potentially, the biggest name that I see that is a possibility is Bradley Beal. I don't think they're going to go for Victor Oladipo currently, but Bradley Beal is the guy for me. If Miami does make a trade, it's pretty much the most realistic one in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think Victor Oladipo kind of played himself out of Miami with his demeanor, because that's the whole thing the culture is based on, and they're not going to let, it's a microchip. One grain of sand can break it, and they're not going to let that one grain of sand get away. But yeah, I mean, look, I understand what you're saying. I think that if Spoelstra has a say in it, maybe he'll say, hey, let's not trade these guys. But yeah, I mean, I think if they're going to go after a guy like Bradley Beal, they're going to give up someone like a Tyler Hero. We even said there are reports that if they were going to go after Victor Oladipo, they're going to have to give up someone like a KZ Okpala, who is the project that they got out of Stanford that they've been working on for the past year to try and figure out. So, I understand the whole not winning for the future and winning for now. Do I think it's risky? Yeah, but there's no one who takes risks like Pat Riley.